Funding for this program is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
Coming up next, Off 90. Join us as we visit a Beatles-themed golf course. Learn with us about Albert Lea Civic music. And finally, tag along as we learn more about the fascinating sport of disc golf. It's all just ahead, Off 90.
My name is Greg McKush, and I'm the owner of Montgomery National Golf Club, and we are themed all around Beatles music. So all of our holes are named after Beatles songs. We've got a yellow submarine. I've got a huge guitar bunker. There's a lot of little Beatle-y things. I'm going to put a strawberries patch on Strawberry Fields, for example. So it's all tied in with Beatles things. My first year here, so 7 years ago, a gentleman had a massive heart attack at hole number 1. And by chance, a Meta helicopter was going overhead, picked him up, took him to Abbott, and 2 months later he walked into the old clubhouse, and I said, John, we were going to call that hole a Day in a Life. It's a Beatles song for you. And he said, I would prefer if it was called With a Little Help from My Friends. And so then I started putting on Facebook, name the holes, and then I'll give you a round of golf. And now we've got all these holes named. So number 10 is called While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That's where we have a guitar bunker. I think it's 60 yards long. Just the neck, you don't want to be in the neck. The neck is about 25 yards long. And it's actually to the dimensions of guitars that I play. I play Olson guitars. And I've had Olson, who makes my guitars, out here and had a picture with him. And he's pretty thrilled. James Taylor plays his guitar, so that's probably a little fancier than Greg McKush making a guitar bunker, but that's pretty cool. 17, there's a big pond, that's Octopus's Garden. I hope to put a big octopus in it eventually. Fool on the Hill, again, it's up on the hill, and it's one that can fool you a little bit with yardage, number 8. All My Lovin', mainly just because I love the song. It's a really playable golf course. There's lots of trees, but you're not going to lose a whole lot of balls. And there's a nice variety. I always think of the 3-hole loops, like 10, 11, 12 is a nice loop. 12, 13, 14, 15, an interesting loop. Our last 3 holes are awesome. So for a little town golf course, I think we've got a lot of variety. We're pulling golfers from all over. I had some from Elk River the other day. Last year I had 24 guys from Chicago with Beatles shirts on. You know, I've had somebody from California just come to take a picture with the submarine. And that submarine is a prop from a movie called Tora, 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 1971. And they had 2 submarines. They didn't need a second take. So I ended up painting it yellow, buying it from a guy at an antique place. And then people started taking pictures with it. And it just slowly kind of became a Beatle-y thing. But organically, it's not like I came in here and thought, that's what I'm going to do. Kind of a crazy thing about this golf course is it's the top 10 most haunted golf course in the U.S. And if you Google it, you'll find it next to Congressional, and there's all kinds of lore on YouTube about it being haunted. And on our first hole, there's tombstones from the 1700s of the people who used to own the farm here, the Berry Farm. In the beginning, when I first bought it, I thought, well, this would be great. I got to make up some good stuff, you know, because it'd be a nice marketing ploy. And I had no conviction to it, so I went, nah, I'm not doing that. But my second year here, in the other building, I put my meal, my breakfast in that microwave, took it out to cool it. When I came back, there was a jacket smushed into my meal, and it totally gives me chills. So I kind of went, how is this possible? I'm the only one here. So I swear on my children that happened. The second thing, in COVID year, we were outside by the bar out there because we couldn't go inside and no touch kind of thing. And I had a jar where it was $40 and people would put their 20s in for their round. And one windy day, a guy was putting his 20s in and one went behind the bar and it sat there and oscillated most of the day. I knew it was there, I would get it eventually. And then somebody was just coming up and that bill went up and went into the jar. Swear on my kids. My family owned a golf course called Lone Pine, and we had a log building that we built. And so I kind of am just reliving my childhood. But it's about 11,000 square feet total, so it's good size. There's highlights all over. It takes a while to go through the whole thing. But just this roof system is estimated at 250,000 pounds. These trusses each weighed, the crane operator told us what they weighed. That one was like 19,000, that was 21,000. There's 90 rafter logs in this thing. So the weight is crazy, and that's why you see some steel in this building. We call it the turret, and you can see the whole golf course. Actually, you can see 15 holes from there. That truss in there weighs like 22,000 pounds, but it's a pretty spectacular room with a pretty spectacular roof system in it. If you look around, there's little tidbits of Beatles stuff all over. There's some really neat stuff down below. The neatest one you'll see is the jukebox, and that's thought of as the rarest jukebox in the world. And Ozzy Osbourne's got one, Steven Tyler, Ringo. I'm told there's 13 in the US and there was only 100 made. So pretty neat to get that. And I've got a picture over here with Ringo and my family. So there's lots of little things, and we've paid homage to my whole family, and we've been in the golf business for like 80 years.
I once had a girl, or should I say she once had me.
I'm a singer-songwriter and probably played 500 gigs, generally played by myself, kind of James Taylor, Beatles, Gordon Lightfoot, that kind of thing. Yep, I've got my corner over there, and we'll play on occasion. If there's a bunch of people in here, I'll go play 10 songs. Golf Magazine did a big story in 2021 that tells, if you Google golf and Beatles, it'll tell a big story. And in there, they say something like the owner is like Willy Wonka if you traded candy for golf and chocolate for Beatles or something like that.
The Albert Lea Civic Music Association goes back to 1945. There were about 100 or 150 Albert Lea residents that banded together with the thought that even though they don't live in a metropolitan area, they still can have an opportunity to enjoy fine music played by excellent professionals. Since then, we have had over 350 different acts that have come to Albert Lea.
I'm Molly Grimmius. I'm the current president of the Civic Music Association board, and I've been on the board, I think I'm going into my third term. And I also grew up going to Civic Music, not actually in Albert Lea, but in Fairmont, which is about an hour west of here. And so I remember many evenings going to Civic Music, and I loved it as a child. And just an opportunity to see such variety of professional music, and it definitely was something I wanted to have for my children as well, and I like to be involved in spreading music in the community.
There is a board of directors that meets, and every year we get together and we select acts for the following year, and we try to get a broad range of acts from different genres. We've had, as I said, many different performers that have come. Everything from Isaac Stern to the Canadian Brass. Some people love instrumentals, some people love vocalists. We try to provide a little bit of something for everybody.
I would agree that there is just such a variety, and even if it's something that is not exactly your taste, like you are not sure about how you feel about two horns just playing together, going through different classical concertos, there's still so much to be appreciated because it is their professionalism and their commitment to music. It's just kind of wonderful to see how much they care about it too, and you leave always caring more. I think it's a huge benefit to a community that doesn't have like daily opportunities to go to professional music, and so it comes right to our doorsteps, which I think a lot of people still don't realize in our community, which I'm glad that you're able to highlight us. And I think it's especially wonderful for families. I have a big heart for trying to get more families to come to our series, concert series, because it is a wonderful opportunity for kids to see if they're just starting out in an instrument. You don't sound fabulous at first. And so to see, oh, my violin can sound like that, or my trumpet can sound like that, or I can play the piano like that. And then also for them to hear about the commitment to what it takes to be a musician. And just to see, even if you aren't a musician, just to come and appreciate if you're into sports, just to see how much of a commitment it is to become someone who does this for a living, I think is super beneficial.
Great music is important to our lives for our mental health and just for quality of life. And to have the opportunity for about $20 for a family to be able to enjoy 5 different concerts during the year and not have to drive 200 miles, get a hotel room, drive through traffic. It's just a wonderful thing for the community. And we have free parking.
One of the neat facets of our Albert Lea Civic Music is that we offer scholarships, and we do this yearly, and they are scholarships primarily for high schoolers, sometimes middle schoolers, just depending, and sometimes college students who are looking to have private lessons and also go to camps or help pay for all states music programs, and sometimes have lessons at college as well. And so it is an opportunity. They audition and then they are selected, and then they are given scholarships that will help pay for private lessons and or camps as well. Our mission is definitely clearly to help bring more music to our community, and so we care deeply about music, and we want to help that for the next generation and to just keep encouraging that. I think that professional level too, not that you have to go on to be professional, but just caring about the quality level of music and going and pushing yourself further through private lessons as well. Financial barriers is definitely, I would say, a hindrance for music. As a mom myself and someone who has 2 students who are doing music, the cost for lessons is going up, and well-deserved. I do believe the teachers should be getting that, but it can be very expensive. And so it is a wonderful opportunity to be able to help students pursue it without having that financial burden. The best way to get involved in Albert Lea Civic Music is to come to our concerts and to be part of our subscription. So we offer subscriptions. That means you pay one price for a whole year of concerts, which is 5 concerts here in Albert Lea. But we also do reciprocity with Clear Lake, Iowa, and they offer 4 concerts. So that's a total of 9 concerts you could go to through the 2025-2026 season, and they are able to come and see some wonderful music through that. And it's a variety. We have an absolute variety next year. Everything from a brass group to Celtic to gospel. So I would say it's a lovely variety for next season. Next year, our season starts off with American Tune, and that is September 7th. And then we have Mexican Brass, which will be October 23rd. And then we have Music Caravan, which is February 14th. It will be a matinee show, so you can still go out for a date afterwards. Then we have Celtic Celebration, which will be March 19th, so just right after St. Patrick's Day. And then we end the season with Cece, and that is May 7th. And she's entitled her series Divas of Soul, so it will be a lot of fun. We see previews of these when the board gets to pick, and it was high energy. The best way to get season tickets is that we start offering them in the summer, I would say the end of July, and you can go to Hy-Vee here in Albert Lea. You can also go to Main Street Coffee in Austin, and you can also go to the Albert Lea Convention Center as well. You also can just buy them the very first concert or any concert that you come to. We also do offer them online now. So we have a website and are at albertleacivicmusic.org, and there you can go through Eventbrite and order your season tickets right through there as well.
Many people experience music mostly through their children at school, and the Civic Music Association gives them an opportunity to broaden that scope and take in some incredible professional performers at a very affordable cost and very convenient.
Well, finally tonight, if you've ever played golf or frisbee, have you ever tried combining the two sports? Well, if you have, there's a name for it. It's called disc golf. And some folks in Austin got together this afternoon as part of the world's biggest disc golf weekends.
Frisbee golf is played just like regular ball golf. It's except you use frisbees, or in our term, flying discs.
Actually, it's a lot the same as regular golf, except you got your golf disc that you throw. You count how many throws, just like strokes to the object basket. And then when it's in, that's like when you're in the hole.
Over at Todd Park, a hole-in-one of a different sort this weekend. Frisbee golf, Dennis Ricky with the ace. Check this thing out. It goes around the trees and somehow...
I'm Scott Scheid. This is my Uncle Tom Hinkle.
Yeah.
And I went and knocked on doors, and Uncle Tom sold the discs. And that's why we have a course in Austin.
Now, these are the second set of baskets on this park. The first ones were moved out of here, and we made Dresdner with it. Then we got good in Dresdner and got all the baskets, so then we moved them out of Dresdner to Markeson and put new ones in Dresdner. But I've been playing since them guys showed me, and I play every Sunday religiously. It's my religion. I'm coming out here every Sunday. I play with the pros. I donate the money, I call it, because I haven't hit an ace in 7 years. I love the game. My wife and I, she'd be out here, but we love the game. We love the sport. We've worked at it a lot. I mean, I loved it as much as they did when they showed me. I grew up on the beach throwing a frisbee, you know, on the beach. So when I met them, they said, "You want to play frisbee golf?" I'm like, show me what to hit, you know, and I fell in love with it.
We were just doing it for fun.
Playing with the old catch discs.
Yeah, we were playing before there was actually golf discs.
Yep. Well, there probably were golf discs, they just weren't here.
Well, they come out in like 82, 83. So,
oh, the golf discs did? 76 was the first course. Oh, yeah, La Mirada, California, I think. But yeah, they...
yeah, the cones were made in the 60s, like that we originally started here with. The cones were made in the 60s, and they got... The holes are so big in the basket and the cone that like a golf disc now will fall through the hole. you can hit the cone and drop in the basket and it falls out because it's used to being played with a big whammo catch disc.
Okay, today we're going to play for 100% payback today on the course, and I'm throwing $20 in for the winner of the Open Pro Division. I can't play it, so.
So when they got a hole-in-one, they ran up there and they wrote their name on the post. That was the thing we did back then. Instead of painting it on the, we'd put it on the wooden post. And that's how that started.
I have like 5 aces out here. That was back when it all first started, the original 18.
We're the early aces in the 90s.
My aces are all basket or cone.
Pretty much we have U-disc now on the computer and on your phone, so everybody's connected to it, and that's the professional disc golf. And it shows all the tournaments, and it keeps your scores. You put your name in it and it keeps your scores, so it knows your average and how you shoot at what course.
And it's just for everybody to come out and play and have fun and get started, and just to get people started in the sport and to have fun playing.
I believed in it and knew it was going to grow and thought it was, there's no greens fees, there's no nothing. I mean, I sold a lot of golf discs to pay for the first 45 baskets out here. I had lots of help from other people too, but I just believed in it so much. You got, like I say, it doesn't hardly cost anything to play. It's not like buying golf clubs, and it's a lot of fun.
Him and Dan Johnson, Larry Bell Richard and Dan were playing the course this way, and we were playing our obstacle course that way, and we met each other, and they had 2 frisbees and we had frisbees. We all turned and went the same way, and that's how we met them, and they've been playing ever since.
Okay, for the amateur division, 4th place, Larry Bell Richards from Austin. All right. Larry.
That was my biggest selling point when I had the Park and Rec meeting, was once they finally, you could tell that they were cracking and going to give us a chance. I told them, I says, once it gets started, it will take care of itself. And it did, in a big way. And they didn't, and I think.
They gave us Dresdner and told us to put another course in down there, because you'd come out here and there'd be people on every hole, people standing in line to go and play.
Yep, Tom Graff come up one day, he says, yeah, Park and Rec wants you to put another course in.
needed to relieve some of the pressure off out here.
Park. So that's when we put Dresdner in.
Like I said, I'm 65, and when I get to 27, I've had enough. It puts it on me, and I'm fairly fit. I bike ride and everything, so. But it keeps you healthy. It really does. Keeps the parks clean. Everybody cleans up. Disc golf makes bags for garbage now. Disc golf companies, they send out bags for strapping to your cart and picking up garbage. So it's really good for the parks. It really is.
go now. You gotta make it move here.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.